Happy windy Labor Day 2024. I'm going to be doing 3 different things on my second trip with my 20 GT AI. Today I'm going to be testing fully fire-formed cases, 3 different powders, one stabilizer 6.5, each 4350, and CFE 223, and I've only got one bullet because that's how many cases that I was able to blow out. And then I'm going to fire form another 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 cases with the unfire formed cases. And the difference is I've got 41 grain HHT and the 40 grain VMAX, and I've loaded these to the exact same specs because I want to see what the velocity difference is. And then finally, with these last 3 bullets, I'm going to be shooting it into molding clay. We've got the tipped and non-tipped 41 grain HHT and the Hornady VMAX, that's 4 grains. Fourth dot. Wind stabilizer 6.5 and CFE 223 is not profiled right in Gordon reloading tool or in quick load, so I started slightly low. This is H4350 starting at 38 grains. Alright, now for the scary wind stab 6.5. Okay, then CFE 223. That did not feel right. Like I said, it's not profiled right, and I think that's pressure. Yep. On to the 40 grain VMAXs. Did it penetrate? I think it did. Check out that spiral already. You'll see that? That's wicked. I'm gonna put this right here. Check that out. And then I'm gonna carefully try to get this bullet out of here. Oh, I think I just saw it. Hold on, I think I just caught it. Oh yeah, there we go. Dang. That's the plastic, and that is all that's left. This is why they call it the VMAX. There's literally lead pieces everywhere inside of there, and I'll zoom in digitally when I get home. You can see part of the tip right there. It blew out all of the molding clay horizontally. That's the farthest at 8 feet, 5 feet that way, a couple of pieces that way, 5 feet. We'll evaluate this when we get home. I just picked up the container of molding clay, and look what we found here. That's what's left of the bullet. That's crazy. Here's a top view of the molding clay. We've got the 41 grain HHT on the left, 41 grain HHT non-tipped in the middle, and the 40 grain VMAX on the far right. And the reason I wanted to start with this top view is I want you guys to take a look at the size and pieces I was able to recover of the molding clay. The 41 grain tipped had the largest pieces, and the 40 grain VMAX, and it's a very frangible bullet, had the smallest pieces to recover, and that's kind of what I fully expected between these two. The one that caught me off guard is the non-tip 41 grain HHT, and I'll talk about that one last. So we'll start with the container on the tipped one. The molding clay started right about where this line is here, and if you go down here, you can feel that after about an inch, inch and a half, you've got full expansion of the molding clay, and it literally had the largest diameter damage of all of the containers here. And that also shows in the external side of the molding clay here, which measured roughly about 5 to 5 1/4 width and about an inch, inch and a half quarter in the inside there, diameter on the inside. This is the tongue piece that blew back towards the camera, and I haven't watched the video, mind you, to see all the details what happened. I was not able to recover the shank on this one, but I was able to pull out 5 of the petals, as you can see here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We're going to skip the non-tipped and go to the 40 grain VMAX, which was the completely frangible one. Again, we'll start with the container. As you can see here, the molding clay again started right about where this line is here, and you could already feel it bulge right there. So as soon as that glove was hit by that 40 grain VMAX, this thing grenaded big time, and it cracked it right down the middle. It blew the big chunk of the molding clay out the back end, and this was actually one big piece here that fell off on the end there. So the confusing one, or the concerning one, I would run the HHT tipped only because of this reason. In this scenario, one of the petals on the shank did not break off, and I don't know if that's focused or not. It doesn't look like it to me. And I'll take a picture, you can see what I'm talking about. And also the size of the container here, if you feel it, just like on this one, and I'll run these side by side, I had the clay start roughly at about the same place, but this did not expand almost till right this part right here, where there's a bulge, just like there's a bulge here at about the inch, inch and a half mark. This went almost 2.5 inches before it expanded, and then it split the container. So I think that was part of the pressure that blew that out. But this had also the smallest expansion out of all of the containers there, and this was the mid-size one. So if you're hunting with the HHT, definitely put the tips on there unless you are hunting close, but I had this at 50 yards. Again, in this scenario, the tip did not break off. But in the end, this is really what I was kind of expecting. You've got a hunting bullet on the left and a frangible bullet on the right. The one that was interesting to me was the middle one. I'm going to do this exact same scenario or comparison with the 154 grain HHT out of my 308 just to see if it has the same results. Quick review of the fully fire-formed cases. We've got the H4350 on the left that has a flat primer and no bite on the case. And the velocity that I got out of there was 38.97 with 38.50, so that's pretty close. The middle case had the most pressure, which is the Win 6.5 stabilizer. You can see the black mark on the outside of the primer. There's reverse flow going on there, and there's a pretty significant bite on that case. And the velocity was 38.56. And finally, CFE 223 on the far right. It did not cycle, and flat primer, and there's a bite on that case there. That was actually the fastest at 39.64, but I think what's happening with this situation and why it didn't cycle is I think the powder is burning too quickly, maybe in the first 10 to 12 inches down the barrel, not allowing that back pressure to push that bolt carrier group back. So I'm really predicting velocity somewhere in the 4,200 range with a fully fire-formed case of 45.5 H2O water weight. I am using close, it is Overbore, and I think that's kind of the issue. I think I've narrowed it down to needing a mag primer, small mag primer, and a fast powder, but not so fast that it doesn't burn out in the first 10 to 12 inches, allowing that bolt carrier group to cycle back, because I'm getting the velocity that I need, but it's not cycling that bolt there. So let's take a look at the Hornady VMAX. Look at that group. That is absolutely stellar. That's 4 bullets pretty much in the same hole there, sub MOA for certain. I did load it exactly the same charge weight as the 41 grain HHT using IMR 4350 at 35.5 grains. The average that I got yesterday with the 41 HHT was 3461, and with the VMAX, the 40 grain VMAX, was 3445. So what is that, roughly 15 FPS difference, with the 41 grain hammer always running faster, as I state. But check out that extreme spread there. That consistency is incredible. So give it up for Hornady on that. But as I always say, hammer bullets are always faster.